We good?
I think we're good.
We're good.
Ready? All right. I'll move this a little bit. What's up?
What's up, dude?
What's up?
You want to introduce yourself? By the way, we got a guest this time. It's our buddy Steven Schreck.
Yep.
He travels like all over the world. Been good friends with him for a long time. I did a video with him a couple days ago, and he was like telling some stories of some things that's been going that has happened in the past, and they're fucking wild. So I'm real excited because he's got a lot. I'm sure he's got more even than what he told me. So for this video, so
We got some stories.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Steven, what's up, dude? Yeah.
Welcome, Steven.
I'm applauding myself. Thanks, guys.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. You just want me to run off? How we want to do this?
Well, I mean, first, just explain, I guess, like the history of getting into like traveling and all that. I mean, so. Well, I don't know. Do you want to? No, yeah. Let's go to the history of it first, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And if questions pop up, whatever, just describe yourself.
Okay.
We're not short for time. That's for sure. We can go as long.
Yeah,
as
we go as
fucking
long as
want.
we
Oh,
need
that's
to.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I can talk.
Good.
And I love
yeah.
questions. And I love talking about travel. So
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
And I love you boys. So,
Right, love you too, buddy. When did you start anyway? Because that's one thing that I never did ask you is when you started.
I started in 2006. I'm aging myself here, but 2006, I was in college in Greenville, Illinois, but I was getting ready to move to California with Luke and Andrew because we all wanted to get into film.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so it was like my last semester there, and at the very end, I saw that there was a trip to Ireland, and my family's heritage is Irish. So I was like, I'm going to get on this trip. Never been out of the country before. I think I'd been to Canada once.
Right,
but
right.
So I emailed the teacher,
AKA Little America.
aka Little America. Yeah, 100%.
America too.
America too. And I emailed the teacher and I was like, hey, you got to let me on this trip. I want to go. And she was like, you've never flown before, so no. And then she was like, well, another girl that has flown before wants to go too. So if I get you guys on the same flight, you can go. So she got us on the same flight. And first time in the airport, first time on a plane. And really, this is what did it. Like, I'll never forget, like the plane it was sunset and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, the plane was descending into Shannon, Ireland.
Yeah.
And it was like,
That's fucking insane. That's so goddamn
Yeah,
insane.
and
I've never been on a plane, so like.
oh, really?
Yeah. So this is all fucking wild to me.
Yeah, and the sun was coming up, and like, so as you descend on an airplane, there's usually a point where it's all clouds
Right.
before you can see the ground. And so when I looked out the window, we were at that point, and all of a sudden, man, the clouds broke, and it's like what you imagine Ireland
Like
to
a
be.
straight up fucking movie.
It was just emerald green. It was misting a little
insane.
bit. The sun was coming up. There was a castle
Fucking
ruins
nuts,
in the
dude.
backgrown. Dude,
Oh shit!
and,
Really?
like, yeah.
Tell me legit.
He's just
It's-
making up
so it
shit
was-
now.
yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
vampire. It was fucking crazy, dude.
It was nuts. But like
There was this guy. He had this bump on his back, and he was swinging from this bell tower.
in the plane.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, he was flying it. Motherfucker can't even see it. Got a car steering wheel. Got a steering wheel like a car in there.
Yeah, man. And just in that moment, to be honest, like I've only felt it a couple times in my life, but that was the first time. It was like a light switch went off
dude.
inside of me, and I was like, this will be a big part of my life.
Hell yeah.
And so that was what really did it.
How long were you there for?
Just 2 weeks.
That's
and
fucking still wild, dude.
Yeah, I loved every second of it. I came home. We all moved to California. They were already there. But then after a year there, I was like, I can't save any money to travel. Like,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
I wanted to do. So I was like,
Yeah.
we're all going back. So we all wanted to go back for different reasons. But we all came back. And I just started working, saving, traveling,
Fucking love that, dude.
and it became, I would work 9-10 months a year, save everything I could, go travel 2 or 3 months,
Hell yeah.
fall in love with it. And then at one point, I I was just like, this isn't going to stop. So let's try to find a way to like make money doing it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like, you
for
know,
sure.
because I'm spending all my money on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
no
so,
shit.
So
Right.
I started learning to write and to blog and saved up for 2 years. And then I left for 10 years, like pretty much.
Yeah. So say you were in, you were in, where were you for like 10 years?
Oh, everywhere, man.
Oh, you mean like you were out for 10 years?
I was
I get what
out
you mean.
for
I get
10
what you mean.
years. Yeah, full time. I hate the term, but that's what other like travel bloggers and
Gotcha,
stuff
gotcha.
call it. They call it full time travel.
Yeah.
travel, You know,
Yeah.
like I like to call it long term travel.
Yeah.
But,
I like that term too. It's a little bit more of a, what do you call it, dude? It's like a fucking, little romanticized a little bit.
Yeah,
Rather, because
yeah.
like full time makes it seem like a job.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, it became a job at some.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it felt
yeah.
like
yeah,
a job.
I mean, whenever you go, I mean, yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah. That shit's sick. Where did you go after that? Because I know, I only know about the 3 places that you told the stories from, which we could definitely tell. You don't know them.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking excited
I'm
for him.
stoked.
Yeah, that
You want to
is-
dive into those?
Well, let's
For-
go. Let's actually let's chronologically go
Chronology go?
first.
Okay,
So let's
okay.
go back to like getting into like the making the money side of things.
Oh
doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever you had decided, okay, I'm going to go full time,
Yeah.
go and I'm going to make this. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to start blogging first, and then what? Blogging, then vlogging, then
Yeah. Yeah.
however.
It was blogging most of the time. I started vlogging towards the end, and that's what I'm getting into now. I don't know, man. I'm not a good writer. I'm still not a good writer. I
Yeah.
put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and
Yeah.
I'm a mediocre writer at best. And I'm not trying to put myself down. It's the truth.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like it's just the truth of it. I'm much better than I was, but I don't know, man. I just I had the idea. I guess the way I think a lot of people would have probably not have made it, to put myself up a little bit, but like
Yeah.
I've always been a person that like my heart trumps my head
Yeah.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also once I'm committed or passionate about something, like I'm all in. So I think those two things, it was like, doesn't matter if I don't know how to build a website. I don't know how to write.
Yeah.
I don't even, like, if nobody wants to come with me, I'm still going to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you
Hell
know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, and so I just put my head down. I took some classes, got a lot of criticism, took it with stride.
I can just picture somebody like reading your fucking like a paper. It's about like I went to so and so, and it's like a real life experience, and they're like real cocky and have like the ascot, and they're just like, "This is trash," and they slam it on the table.
Well,
This is
Get
not
this
good.
filth out of here.
And it's like, no, but it really happened.
I'm like, but it's true.
But it's true, dude.
You just called my life
Yeah.
trash.
And it's got John Lovett's voice.
Yeah.
This is trash.
This is trash. God damn.
No, that's not far off, man. Like one of
I mean, the internet can be brutal, so
Oh, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
most brutal part of life is the internet.
dude, hey, you develop a skin. I'm sure you
Yeah.
boys know too.
Yeah.
Like
I've
Yeah.
played music for like 20 years. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It still makes me mad that I'll still be just staring at the wall and
Yeah.
shit by myself. Like, I can't believe it said it.
I ignore
Me the whole
it.
time.
I ignored it unless I accidentally read it, and then it's the rest of my day.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you so you decided to obviously pursue it to make money.
Yeah.
Now, when was this? 2000, like let's call this what, 2010?
2013.
2013 was whenever you're like, okay, I need to supplement my income by doing this
Yeah.
and doing this. So was there anybody that you like followed after? Like, okay, this guy really did this good. This guy's successful at this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just carbon copy what he's doing and then expand and do better then.
Well, he's the one like when Richter was like, "It's trash."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So like the biggest blogger, travel blogging wasn't massive back then. It was just starting to take off.
Yeah.
And the biggest one, I think he's still probably the biggest, is called Nomadic Matt. And
Okay.
at the time I was starting to get into it, he had just started offering a course, like I'll teach you how to blog.
Right.
Like, and so I was like, boom, $800, I think it was. And I was
While
like,
you're talking, I'm gonna look. Is he got a website? I'll look him up. We
Yeah.
can throw him up on here.
yeah. And so I took his course, and like you met with him every week and stuff like that,
Right.
and like you would send him in writing, and yeah, he was like, "It's trash." And I was like, Dude, the biggest
Blasphemy.
blogger.
Damn it!
It's like the biggest, because I thought
I
it was
paid you to
awesome.
tell me it was trash.
Yeah, like I was like, I just paid you $800. The biggest blogger in the world,
Yeah.
travel blogger, just called me trash. Like,
Is that him?
That's
Is that
him. That's him. And we've actually we've met a few times and stuff like that.
Where's
like,
he from?
He is from
I guess it'd be all over at this point, right?
Boston.
Ah.
I think he lives in Austin now. I haven't talked to him for a few years.
So everybody look up his articles and call them all trash.
Yeah.
This is trash.
Say, Steven says this is trash.
This is not even about have heart.
About 7 people will know what you're talking about. But okay, now, legitimate question: did that help though? Did him calling it trash actually help you, or was it more of a?
I think that relates back to like the heart thing I said, because like, I mean, it didn't feel good, but I was like, okay, if he's saying it's trash, it's trash.
Yeah, like was it like, there's some people that will, they'll call something trash, but it's actually good, and then it'll stop anybody from progressing, or somebody will just be like, so there's 2 ways. Like somebody will expand on that, whatever the trash is, fucking then get better. There's other people that will say, no, your opinion's trash, and I'm going to keep fucking going the way that I like to be.
That's always such a hard thing to balance, because I've definitely, me and Nikki both, because he's in my band, so we play music together, and we played music together for a very, very long time, which you guys know. And there's been times where I'm like, man, maybe it does suck, and then it ends up it's not.
Yeah.
So I get that kind of balance.
Yeah,
of,
so it's
balance.
like, was it trash, or was your opinion trash, or are you just being an asshole because you're the guy who people are paying to have an opinion?
Yeah, for him. So I've dealt with both too. Especially as I've done videos and stuff, and I'm like, that's awesome, and people are like, that's not so
exactly
good.
what I
And
was
I'm
thinking,
like,
because you do like media based
like,
shit too, so it's
yeah.
not just like writing. Like you have. It's cool because like when I was watching you do the stories the other day when we were recording, it wasn't like a character you were playing. It was you.
Dude,
He was just being himself, and I was like, this is like awesome.
Yeah.
It's like when it's entertaining, because watching him get excited about the stories.
Yeah.
And 2, like one, you get excited about the fucking stories. 2, we know that he's actually did this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 3, it's like, you're really good at storytelling.
Oh, thanks,
I'm
man.
super bad about it, because I'll be like, then he died. And then they're like, well, what happened? I'm like, fuck, I didn't even tell the beginning of the story. He just died.
I got this story about a guy that died.
You're not gonna, dude, it's like such a plot twist, man. He dies. Anyways, here's what happened.
Fucking who's the guy?
Yeah.
It's Bruce Willis. This is the Sixth Sense,
And he don't remember shit.
Dude.
So anyway, so your reaction to him being
He had the
pricky
chops,
about it.
right? Like he had
Yeah.
the chops. He
Yeah.
had the what's the right word here? He's already been doing it.
Yeah,
he
I
was
was
already
gonna say, like, the
successful.
time.
he's
at it.
proven. Yeah.
He's proven. So when he called it trash, I was like, it's
I
trash.
get it. And if is he like a nice dude?
He is a nice dude.
Okay,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
probably like balances a little bit, where it's like, shit.
I mean, he's a nice dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever hear this. I'm not really blogging anymore though.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, no, but he's very business focused.
Gotcha.
He's all, and so his mindset is business. Let's grow this business.
I gotcha.
That's trash.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to read this. Why would they read this?
Yeah, yeah.
What do they get out of it?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? So he's very blunt, I guess
Yeah.
is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. He's
yeah.
nice, but he's blunt.
Yeah.
Like, which I need.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So then you go from that into
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man.
So you
Fuck
take
you,
that.
no matter
Going
what.
toward jump him in Boston. I got no go people.
You're fucking. Good luck.
He's just like, what are you talking about?
if he-
I was doing my job.
He's just this little guy.
Yeah.
Are we all going to go like beat up Nomadic Man? Is that the plan now?
Nomadic man.
Somebody.
People in the scene are just like, that's a sick name. Yeah. Nomadic man. What
I hope
cruise he did.
we don't have any crazy people that listen
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah,
Like,
Threatened Nomadic
don't
Man.
chase down Nomadic Matt.
We were
Don't
joking.
see him in the mountains. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
So you go that route, and you obviously were able to fucking supplement your money. You obviously were able to make it work.
Yeah.
No matter what, you were able to
Yeah.
make it happen. And now we're at the time going back into, I guess, when do you start the vlogs?
The vlogs.
You said that's on the later side of things.
That's on the later side. That was just like a year before I came back here.
right? Okay, gotcha. So
Gotcha,
essentially
gotcha.
the same era that we're in right now.
Yeah, so I should have did that before. I'm stubborn, you know. Like
Yeah.
I would have been. I found mediocre success writing.
Yeah.
Definitely not the top tier travel blogger, not the bottom, somewhere lower,
Right,
upper
right.
middle.
Yeah.
I would have found a lot more success in video, and people told me that, but I was like, nope. I chose to do writing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing writing.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't get out of my own way.
Right.
Well, and there was a time whenever, blogging was, I mean, fuck, man, people that were blogging were making more money and more success, more waves than videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a natural progression of that going by
Media.
the wayside,
That
going into
massive
video.
Yeah.
boom in like the 2016, 17 of like mommy bloggers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Making money.
Shit,
They're
man. I
making
mean,
money.
the massive blog boom anyway in like 2008.
Yeah.
Like when
that was
people,
huge
like,
too.
That was,
yeah.
people were like fucking making bank. Like,
Oh well, I guess I was 2012 is when I really
Still, that's
started
part of that
writing.
same ride,
chunk
yeah.
right there. Yeah.
but do you think, like, let's say, okay, now you're going back and focusing back on, you just recorded these videos the other day and all that shit.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be able to like grab the people that like reading the blogs into the videos?
So, not to bring Nomadic Mac back in.
No, bring that asshole back.
Bring him here, actually.
Because you gave me bad advice.
Yeah. 13 years ago.
Yeah, you gave me bad advice
You
13 years ago,
You
motherfucker.
gave me an F in your class 14 years ago. Don't worry, I still got that burden on me from high
'Cause
school.
Actually,
Right.
let's put this puzzle together. He told me my writing was trash.
Yeah.
I don't think he said trash, but he was like, "You
We'll go
got
with
it. You suck." Yeah, we'll call it trash. And at one point, I asked him, I was like, "Well, do you think I should focus on videos? I think that's a future." And he goes, "No, plenty of people still want to read." And so
That
it's
sucks,
all
'cause
his
that's-
fault. This is all his
Sounds
fault.
like.
You would have been ahead of the curve, dude.
Dude, I would have been ahead of the curve.
Here's my question. Hold on one second. If I go to Nomadic Matt
Yeah.
on YouTube, how many videos do you think he has?
Oh, I know he does some because he was doing question and answers for a while.
So
on
he
travel.
adapted to it.
Yeah.
Matt Kepnes?
Yeah, that's him.
Seems
Yeah,
like he has some
he's
videos.
gonna hear
He's
this.
got some videos, all right.
Yeah.
Now you just got to beat him to it, dude.
And
beat
like
him.
well, I know like
Oh, you
my
can beat
writing
his
was
views.
trash.
You can beat
He's
his
not
views
the
for
best on
sure.
video.
You can beat his views for sure.
Yeah?
Matt, we're coming for you.
How many has he got?
Let's see. One of them 4 weeks ago has 1,000.
Oh,
But one of them
I
a
was gonna
month
say,
ago.
you got it. You got
One
it.
of them that's an hour long a month ago has 50.
50.
One before that that's
50?
an hour long
Like
has
50
14.
views.
There's one that's a month ago that has 8.
Go to mine.
So it sounds like he's
I've already kicked his ass.
yeah.
I'm gonna brag on myself a
Fuck
second.
yeah.
I think I can't remember what my highest one has.
What's your-
Ginger on the Go?
That is an awesome
Yeah.
fucking name.
You hear that, guys? Everybody go follow that.
Ginger on the Go YouTube
Ginger on
channel.
the
Actually,
baby.
yeah. What am I doing on my phone? Pull it up.
If I could turn back time, pops up. 'Cause that's what we've listened to about 30 times.
I haven't made a video since I've been here, but like it took off pretty quick.
Yeah. How many subscribers?
4,000 though, I think.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
hell
That's
yeah.
not bad at all.
Beaver anal gland.
Yeah, I
That's-
drank it. I drank it.
I didn't know it was that many fucking.
Yeah. No. So all of your videos have more than what he has.
Yeah.
So fucking fuck you, Matt.
164,000 views.
Yeah, they are.
Damn.
And that's what like
yeah.
now that I'm not traveling long term, like people still need advice. Like those are all my videos. I figured out real quick like the videos where I'm actually traveling and doing stuff get the less views.
Yeah.
People want to know how
For sure.
how to use Euro how to travel Europe cheap, things that are already
Yeah.
I have a ton of experience with, so I don't even have to travel to make them.
That's
That makes
impressive, dude.
Hell yeah. That's a good move too.
Yeah, so
We'll put the
Cool.
link to this in our
Yeah.
in the episode description and stuff too, so everybody can go check it. That's fucking rad, dude.
So that gets us up to the present then. So
Dang.
Now you want to let's hear these stories then, I guess.
All right.
So that was the original thought, was to bring you in to tell your whatever crazy stories or whatever the hell stories you want to share.
Yeah, I'll share. Do you want me to start with that one?
You can start with any of those three that you told me. I'm fucking down for it.
All right, I'll start with the Mongol rally one, because that will be the longest one, and then we can expand on the Mongol rally as
shit.
well.
Yeah,
and I can take more time.
That's already. Oh fuck.
The Mongol rally was a 52-day adventure from where you start. The idea is you start in London, England, and you drive a third of the planet to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Now I think they go all the way to Russia because of laws. But you go through Russia during the Mongol rally anyway. But now you go past Mongolia back into Russia. And you buy a crappy car. You get the team together. You buy a crappy car. You get like $500. I think is the limit.
Like the exact opposite of the gumball rally.
Is it
You know what the gumball rally is?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Is that fancy cars?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like fucking high end fucking
So
princes do it and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, dude.
I was in the middle of it in Florida one time because they went from Miami to New York.
Yeah.
And I'm driving down the road in this fucking 2015 Mazda 3, and a fucking like a Lambo passes me, a Bentley, and like I don't know, it was fucking just
That's
tons
wild.
of them, fucking Ferraris, Porsche, and they all had like European plates and shit on them. They all had numbers on them, and they
So
do
they
'em-
come from Europe to here.
So these princes, and normal people too, but these princes will fly the cars over. They'll build the car over there, they'll fly it over, and then they'll run the rally.
It's insane.
That's
Was a Viva La Bam episode.
I thought it was a Jackass,
It
but
might
it
be
might
a
have been a Viva
Jackass.
La
I
Bam.
love Viva La Bam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do it. They do the gumball rally. I'm pretty sure
They do it different places all over the globe
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
But this the one that I was in, I have pictures of it somewhere. I'm just driving down the road and I'm just fucking stuck in the middle. I'm like, holy shit! Every car beside of me is worth $500,000.
That's what I was
Like,
thinking.
and
how
then
many
some of them
millions.
being millions. Like,
Yeah.
Then you're just getting in an argument with your
just
girlfriend.
might as well at this point.
stewing.
We pulled into we were going over to the Daytona Speedway at
Yeah.
the time
Yeah.
and didn't realize it. They're all around me, and I pull in, and it was one of the checkpoints.
Oh.
Was there.
I
So
see.
like I get out, and there's
Was
all
it the
these.
third lap?
No, you mean the last lap in the third corner?
That's what I meant. Yeah, third
right,
quarter.
motherfucker.
Yeah, third
Rest in
quarter.
peace, Dale.
Yeah, last lap of the third
damn.
quarter. That's where he died. That's what it was. Yeah, last lap third quarter. Right.
But no, I mean it was all these people. They're all getting out because they had just driven. I think from Miami to there was the first checkpoint, and just the richest of the rich motherfuckers.
That's
it was crazy.
So,
So
that
insane.
sounds just like a parade of showing off the rich.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a speed thing. So they're
Oh.
trying to get there though quicker than the other, but it's
Okay.
not. You're not allowed to speed.
Yeah.
So it's
because
just
it's like a renegade shit. Because
Yeah.
like you can get pulled over.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're not. It's not fucking off the road. It's
Yeah.
you got to go from checkpoint to checkpoint, and then so like let's say they left Miami at 8 a.m. and they get to Daytona at noon. That first one, whoever gets there first gets to leave
First.
from that next morning. They get to take off at that same increment.
Okay.
At like from before the second place. If that second place comes in an hour after, well, they can't leave that next checkpoint for another hour after
For
that
another
first one
hour.
takes off.
So you always have the same time lead.
Yeah, it's wild.
What
But
do they win?
I don't know because it's all underground. So I don't know if they. I think there's like
I wonder if there's any gambling.
a lot
Probably.
of yeah for sure.
That's probably a
and
lot
they
of gambling. and
Yeah.
you
shit.
know you pay I don't know how much to get into it.
Yeah.
And there's probably you can probably even look it up, and by now it's probably out. But I'm sure there's a purse of a couple $100,000 or something like that.
And plus, like, it's definitely a flex.
And it's a
thing.
flex because people who do it to
flexing on it,
fucking they're
yeah.
millionaires.
Yeah.
Or not just millionaires, billionaires. Like I said,
Yeah.
princes and fucking and oil tycoons and fucking.
So when we doing it? We
Shit.
have all your listeners.
Dude,
We'll do
tune
the
in.
band van with the trailers.
I
It's
want-
the slowest.
I wanted to do one real bad. I wanted to try to get a dealership to sponsor me and give me a car.
Yeah.
And then I'll just do all the aftermarket things to it and not worry about them. Just like, hey, you guys get to, if we win, you guys get to tell everybody you won the gumball last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can fucking do it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Audi.
Outing.
Ooh,
Audi. Let's
there
go.
you go.
I'm talking to the camera here. Audi. We'll get you.
Fingers crossed it's in America.
Not Canada. Damn near anywhere but Canada. Turns out.
Some people may or may not be allowed in Canada, it sounds like.
So anyway, Gumball would be the exact opposite of what you're talking about. You're talking about shitty cars, take $500 and go.
Yeah, shitty cars, $500, a third of the world, and there's no set way. So like everybody starts in London, and there's a couple meetup points where they have parties the first few days, but then you have a big party, you disperse out, everybody picks their own way around the world, and you just go and go and go.
Okay.
And so I was doing it with another blogger named Norbert. He runs.
Nice name.
It is.
I like that name.
He runs a website, Globotrex. Short little Puerto Rican gay dude. He's so funny. We met up plenty of times after as well. Like he's a good friend, but I haven't talked to him in years. But anyway, I'm doing it with him, and everybody else on our team backed out. So he found a guy named Alex in Senegal in Africa who was also English and was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
So fucking insane.
So he comes. We'd never met before. We all met the day of the rally. So like, we get this card. It's a tiny little Panda Fiat, I think. It's a tiny little thing,
Hell yeah.
man. It's tiny. And we do the party and we start driving. I won't go into all the rally and things like that, but like we get to Georgia, the country, Georgia, and we're crossing over into Russia. And it's the longest no man's land in the world, I believe. So because Georgia and Russia, well, Russia doesn't like their neighbors. They don't like any of their neighbors.
No way.
Yeah. And so like, it's the longest no man's land in the world, which is the space between countries that no country owns, basically. It's neutral ground.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like that little patch of land in between Norse down here. All the different Norse.
that's right.
I know exactly.
Just imagine Norse is no man's land. Yeah. Like, right? And so we get up to the border and they get us out of the car and Norbert goes first. And so at Russia at this time, I'm going to say at this time, I bet it's still the same, but I don't know. So I'm going to say at this time. If you're gay, it doesn't matter, resident, tourist, 30 days in jail. So we're all a little nervous anyway.
Yeah, I think that's still a thing because I think I read about
Fucking
that like not
crazy.
too long ago. They still uphold that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And so like we're all a little nervous, like, so we let him go first because we figured like, don't just let the first guy go. So look, the guard, little booth, flipping through his passport, looking through it, is like, okay, you can go. Then he gets Alex.
Pulls it out and it says gay on it. And he's
oh shit! Wrong card.
wrong card. That's not my passport, man. You got the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the bitches?
And then Alex goes, and the guy's like flipping through his passport and flipping through it, and then like hands it, and he's free to go. Then I step up there and I give him my passport, and he's flipping through it.
You're the one that he thinks is gay.
You know how many times I've got called gay at the Wobbly? It's because I wear V-necks. People around here don't wear V-necks.
I mean, they did 10 years ago.
Yeah, I can tell you a side story at Tara's house where this girl, quick detour, this girl is like, me and Tara were drunk, and these friends come over, and I'm wearing a V-neck. I just got back from Europe, actually, and I'm wearing a V-neck, and I'm talking to this girl, and she goes like, so what do your parents think? And I'm hammered, and I go, what, that I'm awesome? And she's like, that's a great way to put it. And we're talking for a few more minutes, and then I realized, and I'm like, no, I'm not gay. And she's like, why are you wearing a V-neck then? And I was like,
I just like deathcore, dude.
yeah.
That's that being awesome. That's just a great way. I'm happy for you that you think that's
It's
awesome.
because I'm super happy and I'm proud of my own. I feel good in my own skin.
Oh, dude, Tara, she'll still tell that story. She
funny.
loves that story all the time. Yeah, but
Okay, anyway, so it comes to you.
Yeah, so I'm at this border booth with a V-neck.
Yeah.
And he's flipping through my passport, and he stops. And he closes it, he opens it, he starts flipping through it again. I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Like, he's taking way too long.
Yeah.
Then he picks up the phone and makes a phone call. I'm like, this is really not good now. A guy comes down from their little compound, comes into the booth. They're both talking back and forth, chitting and chatting, and flipping through my passport. And I'm like, I am screwed. Like, going to Russia jail, day one.
Yeah.
Finally, the guard that came out from the compound grabs my passport, and he opens the door, and he looks at me, and he stares at me for a second, and he goes, Schreck? Really? Because my last name is Schreck.
Yeah.
So they just thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, just hold
Like,
you
he
up.
called his friend and was like, dude, there's somebody
gotta
down
see
here
this
with the
shit.
last name Schreck.
Believe this.
Like, yeah.
Not gonna believe this
They
shit.
just got Shrek 1.
On DVD
Was that really
that
you in
week.
the movie?
Oh, dude. That movie ruined like high school age for me. Yeah. Dude, I was in an interview once. First job I was ever trying to get, and she read the application. She's like, Steven Schreck, and just started laughing. I I got up and left.
Yeah, it's
I
just
was like,
like,
I don't want this job.
No,
Yeah.
fuck
Like, you know.
It's like, God damn, dude.
No.
I came first, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he lets me go. And
Holy shit.
And then we're in line, like, when you cross into Russia on that kind of border, like, they're sweeping your car for bombs and
Yeah,
like they didn't rip
right.
apart our luggage, but they were like, you know, skeptical. And so that same guard comes out on the balcony of the compound, and he looks down, and he's like talking to his friends, and he's like, "Hey Schreck, where's Donkey?" And I'm already like on 10.
Yeah,
like our
yeah.
car's getting scanned for bombs that we
Yeah.
don't have, but it's still not comfortable feeling. Like they just
damn it.
scared the shit out of me, you know. And so Norbert's right there, and like I said, he's 5'2", little Puerto Rican guy. I'm like, it's Donkey, you know. Like they all like ha ha ha. And so we drove right over the border. Alex is driving, who a couple people died doing this every year. Because people will do it on anything. It's like people will do it in an ice cream truck. People will do it on motorcycles. People will do it in a hearse. People will. I was in a car later, as we get into the story, that like had a built-in racing seat in the top, and like
Some straight Mad Max shit.
and an
Holy
8-point
shit.
harness, and you would just like one of us every day would just be riding up there for hours, like
Mad Max shit.
Yeah.
Mad Max shit. Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Dude, not that I'm getting ahead of myself, but I remember this because you're talking Mad Max shit. There was this one time there were like 8 of us, and we're just driving. It was probably Mongolia because there's no roads there, and it's just desert, and everybody is pretty much hammered and hanging out of the cars, like
being
on their
wild.
top, on the roofs, and we're just driving, man. It
Holy
was
shit.
wild. But anyway, to get to there, we gotta keep going here. Alex was driving, and I was like, if one person is killing us on this, it's Alex. Like the way he drove was insane all the time, insane. Like I was telling Richter yesterday, like I remember once we're in the mountains of Turkey, and it's just S curves. You can't see anything, and there's like 2-3 semis ahead of us, and he's just like, well, and I'm like, bro, like what? Like I would flip out on it. I'm like, I don't mind dying doing something dumb, but if I'm dying doing something
And if
you're
you're
doing
like,
dumb,
and you're in a little
Yeah.
Fiat, there's not a whole lot of power you can downshift and have to fucking pass it.
on
the
a mountain,
semi-truck on a
yeah,
Yeah.
on a mountain, dude.
They don't have the power to
Dude.
get there anyway.
Yeah, and then he would like, if a car flipped around, he would like try to force in between the cars, and I'm just like, if we die, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Dude. You are the one killing us. And so we cross the border, and by that time it's pretty late, so immediately go to sleep. On the Mongol Rally, a lot of times you camp and stuff when you're with other people, but if you're driving all day, it's like 12, 14 hours of driving a day.
Yeah.
So like you just wherever you land is where you're at. So like
Yeah.
he fell asleep in the driver's seat. I'm falling asleep in the passenger. Norbert's in the back. I have a neck pillow on, which saved me because the next morning I woke up to a semi slamming into me, that side of the car, because he had woken up first and he's like, I'll get a couple hours in. Went around a curve too fast.
Holy
There's this
fuck.
lorry, like which is like a small semi in Russia, coming towards us. Like literally when I say I woke up to seeing like a semi, I woke up to him screaming and looking up and seeing the wall of a semi like slamming into my side of the car.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. I immediately went into shock. Like the airbags came out. Like I had the neck pillow on which I think saved me from like breaking my neck or getting whiplash at least. Like he said the first thing Alex did was look over and be like, he's alive. Like, you know, it was like that. It peeled back most of the car into my door. Like the engine's out, everything. It's not complete. I got a picture of it that we can find at some point.
Dude, hell yeah.
So the photo is here.
The photo is here. Yeah, so that is the car, and that is that is what I survived. So like, we get out of the car, the semi truck we hit, the driver gets out of the car, and he's just yelling at us in Russian, like every word you can imagine. We don't speak Russian, but you know what he's saying, like.
Yeah.
And then he realizes we don't speak Russian, and his attitude completely changes. He's like, oh. And he turns around and he gets in his semi. He pulls out a watermelon and he starts cutting up a watermelon and handing it to us. Like, like he went from being the angriest he's ever been to hospitality mode, kicking in and being like, "Oh, foreigners, here's some watermelon."
Hey, now here, let me offer you a peace melon.
Peace melon.
Peace melon.
A goddamn peace melon.
So that's a brilliant. I've never put it that way. That's brilliant. So we're sitting there eating piece after piece of the peace melon.
Peace melon.
And we're like, we are screwed. And by this time, a few more people drive by, and I guess they're making phone calls or something, because we're starting to get a crowd. We're starting to get a crowd around us of like 15, 20 people that are just like, what are these idiots doing? Like, in this tiny town, outside this tiny town in Russia.
Holy shit.
So then at one point, like, we're like, the cops are on their way. So I'm starting to feel protective because, like, Norbert's gay. I'm also in shock. I'm also like, what are they going to find? Because they could find, we don't have anything, but they could make up. Well, at that point, I was a heavy smoker. And in Georgia, cigarette cartons were like $20 for a carton. So, I mean, I don't know how many cigarettes you can bring into Russia, but
I get what you
like,
mean.
Definitely surpassed that.
I definitely surpassed it because like breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the Mongol Rally was cigarettes and Red Bull.
Hell
like,
yeah.
that's what you lived off of.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, sure. And so like, I was also nervous about that. Like, and I was mainly nervous because we all knew what they wanted, which we didn't have, which was our insurance papers.
Yeah.
So like, when you do a rally like this, the way you get car insurance for each country is the last gas station before you enter the new country, you stop there and you buy insurance for the next country.
Oh.
So like, we were supposed to buy it at the last gas station in Georgia for Russia, but which is dumb considering how Alex was driving. We were just like, we don't need it. Like, you know, like maybe me and Norbert will drive more and then we won't have to spend hundreds of dollars on car
We
insurance.
don't need it going through the biggest fucking country ever.
Yeah, yeah, I
The
know.
longest country.
Yeah, dude, definitely not thinking straight. You were thinking like
How
we're
old were you
budgeting.
around this time, you think?
How old was I? I would have been 27, 26, something like that.
Nice.
Something like that. And so, like, yeah, we're all flipping out because we know the cops are coming. And the cops get there, and none of them speak English. And the cops get there, and they get out of their car, and they both have AK-47s. Just walking up with AK-47s.
Straight up movie shit.
Yeah. Well, wait, it should be a TV show because, like, the cops, we found out later, their names were Cobra, nicknames, Cobra and Cheese. And Cobra is what you expect. I love your face right now. It's
Cobra
so good.
and Cheese.
Cobra and Cheese. It sounds like an 80 cop sitcom,
Yeah,
doesn't
for
it?
sure.
Like, yeah. And Cobra is like what you expect. Like, tall, like 6'2", 6'3", very stern, no emotion, Russian. Like, you know, like, I will kill you. You know, like,
yeah.
And Cheese is probably like 5'5", 5'6", and 280 pounds of just fat. Just cheese. You don't get a nickname cheese.
I didn't know they had those over there.
Yeah, dude.
He was related to somebody.
That's the government cheese.
That's government. That is government cheese.
Government cheese, dude.
That is government cheese. So they walk up with their AK-47s, just walk up to us, and they're like pointing at papers and like, and we know what they want, but we know we don't have it. So we're like giving them all the papers they have, and they're like, no, nine, like, like pointing at other papers.
Yeah.
Eventually, they have to go to the village next to them, pull out an English teacher there that speaks English, drive them like half an hour to meet us, and then be our interpreter. So he gets there and he's like, they want your insurance papers. And we're like, we know, but we don't have insurance papers. And so like they're talking back and forth, Cobra and Cheese doing their thing. And so then
Cobra Cheese, the peace melon.
Cobra Cheese is the curious case of the peace melon. And so then at one point, Cheese talks to the interpreter, and the interpreter is like, okay, how much money do you guys have on you, like US? And we're like, we have X amount of dollars. I think we had like 300 or 400, and we thought it was a bribe. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Which on the Mongol rally, a lot of the countries you go through, you pay bribes. That's just the reality of life.
That's the reality of everywhere but here.
Yeah. I paid bribes like almost daily in countries I lived in because I was riding around on bikes and I didn't have a license to do it. So there's $2. Like so they're like, okay, give all the money you have to the driver because Alex messed. Are we allowed to cuss? Can we cuss?
Oh yeah, fuck
yeah. You haven't heard all these fucks that I've been
dropping. I'm desensitized. I work at the Wobbly. I'm desensitized to all this work. And so we fucked up his car. Like the drive shaft was sticking out of it. It was done. So they're like, give him all the money you have, and then he'll bill you for the rest. So we like took down the Western Union. Like he never billed us. Thankfully.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so like, because I think it would have been a lot to fix the semi.
So the cops weren't necessarily worried about it on a criminal front.
Well,
like they would be worried here.
Well, so then,
or we haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah. So then we're all standing there by the cop car, and the interpreter is like, "Okay, you guys have to get in the cop car," and we're like. I'm like, especially with Norbert, I was like, this is not the route we're going to go. So I'm like,
not an option.
I'm trying to be like, we paid him money. Like, can't we just take us to a bus and we'll go to a big city and figure something out? And he's like, no, like you have to get in the cop car. So like, all three of us get in the back of this cop car. The cops, Cobra and Cheese, they get in, they hang up their AK-47s. They have little door like holsters for them. It was wild. There's a video of us in this cop car. You can put it.
That
up
would be
there
awesome.
Too.
Hell yeah.
Where we're explaining what happened. And so we sit in there, and Cheese turns around and like looks at me, and he pulls out a pack of cigarettes. And it's the only English word he ever said. He's like, cigarette, and I'm thinking. He's giving us last cigarettes before we go to
some dog the bounty hunter shit.
Yeah,
good Christ, bro.
Cigarette, then talk about God.
Yeah, exactly. I was like cigarette and then jail. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take a cigarette. So we're
also I would never pass up on that situation anyway because it still sounds like a fucking movie. It
sounds like fucking
I'm gonna
crazy.
take this Russian cop cigarette while I'm in the back of this Russian cop car.
100%.
Yeah,
like,
the born supremacy.
Yeah, and so like,
where are you going?
And so, like, it's popping up in a brewski? Oh, my goodness. I didn't know if we drank or not during this. So, in the front zipper of that is a White Claw, and I'll take that. I'm going to drink White Claw on air.
There you go.
Because I'm not going to get enough shit.
Drinking White Claw with a fucking deep V and
yeah, you sure?
Oh, yeah, give me a beer. Give me a beer.
I mean, where's the bitches at?
Oh, no, the zipper part. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we've interrupted this story so many times.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
we hardly get through the story.
No, it's good. I appreciate it. Yeah, now I forgot I was being filmed, so now you're right. I got a V White Claw. Necklace is showing. And so we're smoking in the back of this cop car, and they take us to the police station, and we're still in the car, and the interpreter comes up, and he's talking to the cops, and the cops are talking to each other, and then the interpreter looks at us, and he goes, "You know, we're supposed to take you to jail, right?" And we're all like,
So
"Yeah,
fucking insane.
we know,
Russian jail.
we know."
Christ.
And then they go, and then the interpreter's like, "But they're not going to. They're going to take you to lunch." And so they literally,
Oh my God.
they literally drove us to lunch, and we're just sitting there eating like
What the fuck?
potatoes with gravy with these Russian cops in this restaurant. Because I'll tell you why. Like, there's more to this story, but I'll tell you why we did not go to jail. And this is the only reason. Is because we were so close to Georgia, and it was a small town. Because they saw themselves more as Georgians. They didn't like the Russian government so much. So
And that would
it
have
was-
been, I'm assuming, around the time. What year was it?
It would have been 2014. It's when Chet.
So it was right around the same time of like the last time that they had issues back and forth. The invasion of Georgia from Russia would have been 2015 or
It was probably
the
like
last
right
one. It's
after
happened all
it.
the time, but in 2015, I think. Yeah.
Because like in Tbilisi, in the capital of Georgia, buildings were demolished.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd just be walking down, it'd be fine building, rubble. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
type of stuff. And so like
Jesus.
you know, it was recent.
Yeah.
Like and that is why we didn't, because they felt more
Holy shit.
as Georgian than
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah.
If they felt more Russian, I'm sure like I could still be in jail. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like and so they took us to lunch, then they brought us back to the police station, and they're trying to figure out like what they're going to do with us. Like, you know, not take us to jail, but like where
Right.
these kids are going to go. And so they're talking to the sergeant, and they're trying to help us. I remember the interpreter and a cop were just like, it must have been Cobra, because Cheese was with us. Like, they were just scrolling through looking for cars we could buy or something. And while they're doing that, they put me, Norbert, and Alex in like a briefing room. And Cheese is sitting there guarding us, just at like the head at the table. Well, inside this briefing room, they've also put a very, very drunk dude, super drunk. I think he must have been a relative or something that they just picked up. So like he's sitting there and he's going on in Russian, and then like Cheese told him to be quiet a couple times, and he's not because he's so drunk. He's running around. Then he's like finally like notices we're there, so he's like coming up and stumbling to us and like yelling at us, and I'm like, you know, how do I say it? 'Cause it's literally the only phrase in Russian I know is I don't speak Russian. I think it's Yaruski Noska or something. It's like, I don't understand Russian. I don't understand Russian. And he's so drunk, he doesn't understand that I'm telling him I don't understand Russian. And so at one point he gets so frustrated that he just strips down naked, completely naked, like Russian balls in my face, like, and he's yelling and screaming. Well, at that point, like Cheese does this little smirk, gets up, walks over to him, and I'm telling you, beats the shit out of him, ever living shit out of him.
Fucking
Just
little
gives him,
big cheese. Fucking.
living beat down, like kicking him on the ground, and then Cheese, without saying a word, just goes back to his desk, sits down, and does his little smirk, and like it was not funny because I was is he about to beat us? But I remember that smirk is like engraved in my mind. Like, and so
Jesus.
eventually their sergeant comes in and he's like, I don't know why me. The Russians love to pick on me. That's what I've learned. Maybe it was the ginger. My hair was redder back then too. And he's like, "You're okay. You're okay." And then he looks at me and he's like, "I think you're a spy." And I'm like, dude, that's not even. I was like, yeah,
Don't even joke about that.
yeah, we're not joking.
Yeah,
The word
yeah.
spy does not come out of your mouth. And I was like, I'm not a spy. And they're like, so what they ended up doing was they put us in a hotel, and they're like, we'll put you on a bus to, I think it was Barnaul, which is a big city where we knew a lot of teams were coming through, and we would just we'd try to find a team, and we'd all split up and hop in different cars. So they put us in that hotel. The next morning, there's a knock at the door, and it's an interpreter and 2 reporters from the local paper, and they have 3 big bottles of vodka, and they just were like, we want to interview you about like what you're doing. And so like I told Victor, I have to find it. There's an article.
He's got the article.
I got an article. I've never read it. I've never translated it. I don't know what it says, but like they sent it to me. So there's an article about our car wreck or something.
Holy fuck.
In a Russian paper.
That's so sick.
Like, yeah, that was one of the craziest days of my entire life. Like,
yeah,
it could have gone so bad so many times, and it didn't. You know, like
I've never. If you took all of my lucky moments my whole life, I've never been lucky enough to get through one of those. Moments.
There ain't no way,
dude. I don't know why. Like,
it doesn't sound real. It's crazy.
That's
amazing.
It is crazy. That's what stories. I'm like, do people think I'm bullshitting when I
right.
Like, but it's true. Like,
I mean,
everything I said is true.
Yeah, the fact that you have the picture of the fucking car, the video in the cop car, and the fucking the article, like that's it. I mean,
it was wild, man.
Also, that shit you can't make up. Cobra and cheese.
Cobra and cheese, dude.
Fucking peace melon, man.
Peace melon.
The peace melon was your. That was your.
You need to get a tattoo of a peace melon.
Dude. Yeah.
All on the peace melon.
A watermelon with a peace sign cut out of it, so you see the seeds and stuff inside, like the pink.
Peace melon.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick, though.
And that was just one day of it, man. I'll tell you, like, if you want to hear more about the Mongol Rally, because Richter hasn't heard this stuff, like, because this stuff is pretty insane too. So, like, we get to that next city, and we all hop in different cars, and we meet different teams. Luckily, those teams kind of knew each other. They were kind of caravanning back and forth. Like every couple of days, you'd meet up, and so we saw each other a lot. But the team I joined was called the Cads and Bounders. It was 3 English guys, and Ash, George, and oh my God, Kevin. Oh man, he's the one I'm closest to. Him and Ash, and they were happy to have me because Ash was the only one with the driver's license. So he'd been driving this whole time.
Nice.
So he's like, somebody else that can drive. Yeah. And they're the ones that had the built-in racing seat in the top where you would just hang out. And so the thing with that car is, though, the clutch cable kept breaking.
Oh, shit.
Like, we repaired it like 7 times. And when you're going through the stands, so like Central Asia, Northern Asia, like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, like things like that. Nobody speaks English. You feel like a rock star. Like if you stop out of town to get gas and you go to buy water, you get a sea of people around you. Like, like you feel like a rock star, like all the time. And none of them speak English. So when you're trying to explain like how to fix a car, it's literally stick drawings. You're doing stick drawings of like, you know, in cars. And so whatever reason, I don't know cars, the clutch cable kept breaking. So
a lot of times it'll go on like it'll hit like a hot exhaust or a header because of where the clutch comes through.
Yeah.
Or the other times just because it's wired, it's multi-wired wire. So whenever it's once it's broken once, it's a problem.
Oh, well,
anyway.
Yeah. So it got to the point where we were like, we can't afford to do this, fix this anymore. Like it's taking all our money. And so then we just started popping it in the gear from first, right? Yeah. So like 2 people or 3 people, whoever wasn't driving had to get out and like rock the car back and forth, you know, and you pop it and the car starts going, but then you can't stop.
Yeah.
So then you have to run and jump into the car while it's going, or you have to do it all over again. You have to get everybody without stalling it. So, I mean, we did that, dude. It was like, we did that for weeks. Like,
Jesus Christ.
You'd be sleeping in the car, you know, and then it'd be like, well, because you couldn't come to a complete stop.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, it'd be like 3 a.m. Ash is driving. I'm sleeping in the back. It'd be like, well, everybody out and push, you know, and you just have to go.
How long was it? How long were you gone for?
The whole thing took 52 days.
Jesus.
So, and what the story I told you about Russia was probably 2 weeks in, maybe.
That's so
like,
so fucking
quick.
crazy.
Yeah. And so I was with those boys for the majority of it. At one point, we were trying to get out of Kazakhstan because my visa expired at midnight, and we got a flat tire, and it was a holiday.
Oh shit!
And we're like probably 30 minutes from the border driving, and everything's closed because it's a holiday, and so we can't find a spare tire. And I'm like, well, now I'm gonna get screwed because my visa runs out today.
Yeah.
Eventually, like a cop drove by, George, who spoke the best Russian out of all of us, hopped in with a cop who drove him to some tiny town where he got a tire, but it was a tire that wouldn't fit on our car. So we had to literally like hammer up and bend up like the fender area around the thing to fit on the tire to get me out of Kazakhstan. So then it's all like serrated metal. It's all like jagged metal pieces. So imagine like it's 2 a.m. You have to get out and push start this car. Yeah. And then
You're
you have
pushing
to
against the friction of the fucking.
Yeah, but then you have to run and jump in the car when there's
Blades
sticking out of the side. Like we were all cut by the end of the first day, like by those blades. Like
and there's
it
that
was
fucking
wild.
seat up top with a fucking
Mad
gun,
Max.
with a gun attached to it.
But dude, I'll tell you that.
Somebody's playing guitar on the hood.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck you want?
Dude, those moments though, those were like my favorite moments of the route. Like getting out and pushing the car and like the camping and sleeping in the car, because that's when you felt like, oh man, this is an adventure.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, yeah, it was wild.
That's so sick.
It was wild. So we should do that instead of the gumball rally. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
I mean, I'm down. I could probably get in those. I'm probably.
You're probably good. You'll probably be president. Elect your president.
You boys go on. I'm gonna stick here with Cobra.
Me and Cobra and Cheese got an uprising to attend.
I don't know. I'd watch out for Cheese. I've seen him beat at somebody's ass. You know, I wonder sometimes. I'm like, this is.
I wonder how they're doing.
I'm like, I wonder what Cheese is doing right now. You know what I mean?
Cheese might have already had a coronary. I don't know. He doesn't sound like the healthiest
Cheese
person.
That is possible.
He may have a blood pressure problem.
100%.
Man, I wonder if those news articles, if their names are in the article,
I
and then
hope
you can
so.
track
Their real names?
I'll send
Yeah.
you guys all this stuff today.
and you
like,
can track them down and see if that's them.
Turns out their real names are actual. It's actually Officer Cobra and Officer Cheese.
Yeah, that's
that was-
first and last name. Cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Did Cobra wear sunglasses?
I think so.
Yeah, he had to. If he's
I have
Cobra.
one picture of us with Cobra, and he's not wearing sunglasses. But I think when they pulled up, they were wearing
Had to have been
sunglasses.
wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Cobra, you go by Cobra.
My mind went straight. My eyes went straight to the AKs. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if a weapon like that comes from your country and you're allowed to carry it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the greatest weapons ever made. So
That
yeah,
is
came
true.
from there.
All reliable. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
That's insane, though.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
That's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
One of the scariest, luckiest days of my life, for sure.
And of course, that wouldn't happen, in just a fucking chill country. Of course, it would happen in Russia.
In Russia, yeah. Like,
Could have wrecked anywhere else.
yeah, yeah. Like the one country we were most nervous about
Yeah.
driving through.
Yeah.
Like,
It happened
you know,
there.
yeah,
insane.
yeah. Mongolia was also crazy to drive through because in Mongolia, literally, like when you cross that border, there's roads for about 5 miles, and then the road just ends, and then it's literally just steeps and flats, and
No shit.
so like you're trying to get to Ulaanbaatar, which is like if you cross into Mongolia, it's like almost in the middle, far side of the country. And so you're looking at the GPS and you're like, there's 2 mountains there, but we need to be on this side. So it's just like, just turn the wheel a little bit because it's just
Like you
nothing.
have no fucking clue. Like
Yeah.
you just drive
It's just,
there.
you're just driving through like literally no roads.
Holy shit.
Yeah, until you get closer to Ulaanbaatar,
Yeah.
and then the roads start up. But it's just
Jesus
like,
Christ. There's no,
yeah,
well, that's what I was going to ask about, like in Russia. Like, I know that the big, a lot of American thought is every other country is fucking just less than. But like in Russia, like let's say you're in a small village in Russia.
Yeah.
I know Russia obviously super advanced country, but are these villages like everything that I've seen not in Russia but a lot of other places? It's not that they're stuck in the fucking 1400s, but is it super like past like 80s? Like a lot of 80s cars and shit like that. Like
no,
I've seen a lot of like just small, not quite in Russia, but a couple other countries where it's like. It's not that they're stuck super far in the past, but they're not necessarily they don't have the best technology because nothing comes through there because it's just a small fucking village. So
in that sense, yes, but
Yeah.
Russia is more advanced probably in that sense than like Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I just wasn't sure because Russia. You know, I know we obviously know. You know, Moscow is fucking as advanced as they come. You know, we know that a lot of the big cities.
Yeah.
But a little village that nobody fucking talks about off the beaten fucking path, like.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely dated. You know what I mean? But it's not like they're living in the 60s.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like they're living in the 80s or
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Probably 90s is closer.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Where certain places I've been, it's like.
Well, I kind of want to go there then. Dude, that sounds great. To
I've
me.
seen I've seen a lot of like, but there's different countries you can't really tell where the countries are.
Yeah.
That are stuck in like 1989 or 1991.
Yeah.
sounds
yeah.
Because it's like you have everything that your technology's like all right.
I mean, mostly stuck
it's just
there.
not
It's
where
the-
we're at or where other people are at, but
Right.
It's what they.
it's fucking
it's what
fine.
they
You know,
have.
their
Yeah.
cars are fucking fine. I drove a '93 fucking Dakota. You know,
yeah.
it works fine.
Yeah, older cars for sure.
Yeah.
Especially in the villages and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Most of the world drives older cars, I would say.
Yeah.
Around that area for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're all passed around.
Yeah.
That's what happens to the cars, or it did. You would, once you finished, you would leave it there and they would repurpose it and give it
Oh,
to somebody.
okay. Gotcha.
But now I think they make them send them back. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah.
well, I mean, I do know that fucking we're one of the only countries that are super obsessed with all brand new vehicles. I mean, I know that's a fucking big thing where.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, well, it wasn't even like that until about 10 years ago here.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the '90s. Everybody driving around with cars from the '80s.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, it wasn't until whatever came across here where we're like, okay, now everybody has to have brand new cars.
Like always, they always have to have
Yeah,
fucking new
like
cars.
people
yeah.
that trade. You know, I don't know why they don't just lease, but the people that will trade in a new car every year to get a new car instead
See,
of just leasing it.
I can never do that.
No, fuck that.
No,
But like I know, like it's more of an American thing than almost anywhere else. Mostly because also the manufacturers are here.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Yeah.
You know, like Honda's built fucking an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's probably just a thing to keep that going. But you know, you go. Obviously, it's a whole different reason. But you know, you go to fucking Cuba and you see fucking 50s cars everywhere. That's
Yeah,
because of the
yeah.
embargo. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they learned that we don't need to buy new cars. We can fix them.
Yeah. We just fix them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just fix whatever, and we'll keep them fucking going.
Yeah.
for 80 years.
And they look awesome.
They're fucking sick. Yeah. They're clean and not fucking rusted out or anything.
Old cars look cooler. They just look cooler than
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
new shit, dude.
I agree. I like the old cars. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
God damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
insane.
so wild.
Yeah, it's such an insane fucking story.
Yeah, man. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was one of those moments where it's like,
What do you say?
I think he's going to the bathroom, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just nodded at him. I couldn't hear.
Oh, okay.
And he just leaves.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
that story sucks.
Yeah, I don't believe any of this shit.
You better come back with a peace melon.
That's what I'm screaming.
Man.
Yeah, that's insane. I didn't. Yeah, because I only heard up until the like the end part there. I didn't know that there was like more to it. See, I didn't know it was that long, and I didn't know.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild, dude. But it was awesome because there was a lot of nights where you would just meet up with other, because you had stickers all over. It was very obvious to tell if you were on the rally because you
Yeah.
had stickers all over your car, or it'd be like an ice cream truck, and you're like, well, they're obviously like.
Yeah.
And then you would camp out. You'd all get drunk together on vodka. Mongolians drink a ton of vodka. Like
Really?
Yeah. I guess because they're so close to Russia.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
And the main vodka is called Genghis Khan.
Jesus.
No shit.
It's very on brand for
Yeah.
Mongolia.
Jeez.
You'd think they'd be a little.
It'll slaughter you.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't lean into this. That's like,
It'll kill you and your whole family. Fuck you up.
meanwhile, we're straight getting rid of Christopher Columbus as quick as we can.
As possible. Get him out of here.
Yeah, they're like fucking Genghis.
Fucking throw his
You
face.
ever hear my uncle Genghis?
Draw a
That guy-
cartoon of us. Make a cartoon of him.
My uncle Genghis, your uncle Genghis, my dad Genghis. It's related to everybody.
It's not the Genghis Khan you think.
Yeah. Wrong Genghis, dude. Wrong Genghis. Yeah, you got the wrong Genghis, dude.
Somebody calling me from St. Clairsville. Is it Trey?
Probably Trey.
Oh, man, that's so fucking sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
awesome. That's one of my favorite things I've ever fucking heard. In my
Really?
life. Dude, I love
Dude,
it. It's so fucking.
I love it
nuts.
because it's just like there's so many people that don't know anything about traveling that does sound so fucking crazy that
Yeah.
whenever you take that situation, you think about it and put that scenario in your fucking mind, there's people that would freak out and never fucking do anything again.
Yeah.
That's true, man.
There's
But
people
Yeah.
that couldn't go out of their house because of that fucking happening.
Yeah.
that's true. Well, maybe I just discouraged a bunch of people from traveling. Oh my
It
god.
encouraged me. I fucking want to go do it
That's
now.
sweet.
Yeah, it sounds
yeah,
awesome.
man. Because that's one of the things I figured out real quick. Like after I came back from Ireland, and the next time I went, other people were supposed to go, and they backed out, and I was like, well, I'm still going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went, and that first day was nuts. Like the ATM ate my money. Like it didn't give me the money. I was in Rome, Italy. Never been there. So I'm just standing in the airport with no money.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
no place to stay, nothing. And then finally a girl, like a teacher, she was like, here's some money to call your bank. I booked you a hostel for the night. Like,
Hell yeah.
here's,
That's cool as
here's a
shit.
train ticket. And she called the hostel and was like, he's
Yeah.
coming. Like, watch out for him.
That's
And
sick.
I sorted everything out with my bank. And like, but you learn real quick that like things happen. And like, that's one of the things that attracted me so much about traveling is like, you realize, I always like to put it like I realized I was a dangerous man. And what I mean by that is, do you guys know the T.E. Lawrence quote? You guys should, because you're also like the Dreamers of the Day quote.
I don't know if I know that one.
No? Well, I won't get it. I can get 90% of it, I'm sure. Like, it's all men dream, but not equally. Those that dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind awake to find their dreams to be vanity. But those that dream by day are dangerous men because they can act their dreams with open eyes and make them reality.
Oh, shit.
That's what I did.
That's sick.
Hell
I get
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's what
sick.
you guys are with like I keep hitting this wire, but music and
Yeah.
podcasts and
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. And that's what I learned traveling. Like, like if I set a goal, like it's not all rainbows and
Right,
especially
right.
full time was not rainbows and sunshine all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's why I stopped. Like
Yeah.
I should have stopped before I did. Like
Yeah.
to be honest, but like that you can do it. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're not made of glass.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's sick. Actually, I like that fucking quote a lot.
Yeah,
fucking
I've always
sick.
wanted to get it tattooed. I never
Yeah.
have. Like, it's one of my favorite quotes of all time. I'm a quote junkie. Like,
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at my website, like,
He starts doing
There's
Borat
a-
quotes.
very nice.
I'm just like, God damn it.
That's what I said when the cops were like, "We're not taking you to Russian jail." I was like, "Very nice."
And they're just like, don't do that. Do not do
There's
that.
like on second thought.
Yeah, they're like, no,
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Now you done,
you
son.
will not.
No, but yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes. And,
That's
like,
sick.
Yeah.
I dig
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the benefits of that I did it alone. I'm glad
Right.
I did
Yeah.
it alone at first.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I want to go alone soon. I was planning like last year. I wanted to go to Europe alone, but that just didn't work out. I want to go and just fucking
you should, man.
just go try it with no plans.
You should. That's awesome. Like some of the best moments of my life were like doing that in Europe, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it's like anything you do. Like I did it too long. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like and that's why I was like I should have stopped earlier. I should
Yeah.
have stopped because it changed. Just doing it full time changes. It went from being the thing I was most passionate about in the world to being a job that I was super passionate about, doing the thing I was passionate about. To, resentment is a strong word, but
Yeah.
to just
No, I
being
get it.
like,
I get it. I
like,
get it.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I get that.
Yep. Trust me, I get that with the music thing.
Yeah.
I'm fucking bitter.
Yeah.
I'm bitter. I love
Yeah.
it so much, and I'll never stop doing it.
Yeah.
But dude, I have a resentment, and I have a jaded point
Yeah.
of view.
Yeah.
Real bad with it.
Same, man. Same for me in travel. Yeah, I get that completely. Like, I'll travel. I won't travel full time ever
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Ever again. I now I'm going to be a week, maybe 2 weeks.
And plus,
couple times a
do
year.
it something because you do it because you want to do it, not because you you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I was like, I should stop it a couple years earlier, because like I remember at what point I should have stopped. Actually, like I was in Ireland. It was probably my fifth or sixth time there, and I was there because my mom wanted to go there, and so we were in Dublin and we were doing the Trinity College, the Book of Kells, which is like, I think it's at least from the 1100s. It's like a book that has all this art in it, like calligraphy, and it survived the Vikings. That's why it's famous. It might be the only book that survived the Vikings on Ireland. And I'd already seen it 3 or 4 times. And so we're in there, and I'm bored as shit because I've been here, you know. At that time, I was really starting to get bored. And we're going through the exhibit, and there was an old lady and an old man looking at the book. It's in a glass case with a big light on it. And I just overhear him, and like the old lady is like, "That's amazing." And the older man goes, "Yeah, it's once in a lifetime." And when he said that, it hit me.
Oh,
it hit me because the way this is gonna sound like first world problems.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like, to me, the way it hit me was like, I haven't looked at anything like that as a once in a lifetime in years, because I'd been running around the world looking at, a lot of times to the same places over and over again, seeing all these things. And so the value of what I originally started out to do, like to see, to explore, wasn't there anymore, because to me, I was like, this is not it's not a once. I've been here, you know what I mean? And I'm young at this point. Like, you know,
I understand.
And so like, that's when and I went for a couple more years, but I think that's the moment I should have been like, let's hang this back, because that resentment, I don't know if I like saying that, but it just grew to where I think if I would have stopped then, taken a couple years off, I'd have that passion to be like, I'm going back and I'm going to do it all.
Even if it's not a resentment, I mean, anything you do enough, you grow a film over the fucking, you know,
Right.
It's like you're calcifying the feeling of it.
Yeah.
And exactly, it's desensitizing to anything like that.
Yeah.
I get that for sure. I mean, that's anything that's fucking exciting, you know?
That's true. That's true.
Hell, that's half of fucking relationships.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You get fucking desensitized to whatever, and it's just normal every day, and you forget why you're doing anything that you're fucking doing.
Yeah, the appreciation of it. And your passions and
And it kind of freaks yourself out when you realize it's like, oh no, like shit. Like I get that. Yeah.
And so, so that's why I kind of stopped.
Do you have any plans to travel like anytime soon, or any idea?
Dude, I don't know. I will travel the rest of my life.
Right.
I'm constantly. I still have that little nudge, you know,
like you just got back from Peru, didn't you? Well, I didn't just get back, but that was like 6 months ago. Wasn't it?
Peru, and then I went to El Salvador.
Yeah,
and so I'll do that kind of stuff the rest of my life,
Right.
like a week, 2 weeks. The constant pull to go is not that chapter of my life is over. And I enjoyed every moment of it, even when I'm like I should have stopped and I kept going. Like I'm still grateful for those times.
Right.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, that's a fucking. You did a lot.
I did a
lot,
lot, dude. It gets old, but I mean, that sounds so pretentious, I guess.
No, I get it. I get it though, dude.
Yeah, you spend. I mean, travel is amazing. It's my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still love something so fucking much that it's part of your identity, and you have a time period where it's just like, all right, I'm beat down, I'm tired, like I don't want to do it right now.
That's the thing, man. I feel like I lost my identity in it, because at that point, like, all my friends were travel bloggers. All I was doing was traveling. All my day-to-day friends were just travelers.
Yeah.
Like, it was just. It was everything. It was all I knew, and I was like, if I separate myself from this, like, who am I? Like, I don't even know anymore.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I fully get that, dude.
Yeah.
Trust me, I definitely get that part.
If you don't write a fucking book,
That would be sick. Yeah.
You need to write a book. I mean, it might be
Matt's
15,
like, this is trash.
That's what I was about to go.
might be 15 years from now, but fucking just
Yeah.
whether it be experiences and stories or just from fucking like you talking about that right there. That's like the introspective fucking side of you understanding of like that person saying this is a once in a lifetime thing and realizing that you didn't appreciate that.
It's like a fucking story, dude. It's
like stuff like
a
that.
real
Just seeing what
fucking-
you the way that you looked at life differently after
Yeah.
all these trips and all that shit. There's a lot of stories to be told out there.
I'd love to. You know, I'm gonna call out Leslie here because she sent me a snap the other day. If she was in a Barnes and Nobles or something, and it was a travel book section, and she goes,
Yeah.
"I don't see your book,"
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
just was like, "Wow, you called me out. You called me out right now."
Just on your ass about it.
Yeah. Oh man. No. Yeah. I would love to. I mean, that's why I'm starting videos again. Like Richter
yeah.
was like, you should really get back into videos, and like, I'm not gonna go on long trips
Yeah.
anytime soon, if ever again, like year-long trips, month-long trips. But like, if I can help the next generation,
Yeah,
and
for
make
sure.
some money doing it,
Yeah.
it's a
Exactly.
little extra
Yeah,
income,
yeah.
you know,
Plus,
win.
scratch
and
that
I get to be
itch, dude.
creative, you know,
Yeah.
like so it hits all the boxes.
Yeah.
Scratch that itch of traveling because you can do like a short-term thing and you go and you create something from that, like a video or
Yeah. To be honest, man, like, because I don't even know how to put this. I spent so much time traveling, and it was a great, I'll call it an act of my life. It wasn't even a chapter. It was
Yeah.
a big portion of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of excited about, like, this is all new to me.
Yeah.
Like, having an apartment is, I went from home to college to hostel dorms for most of my life to living with Nadia to
Yeah.
my mom. This is the first time I've had my own space,
Yeah.
like ever
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Like, you know,
Yeah.
so like it's exciting to me. I'm like, I get to research bed sheets. Like,
And you know what is fucking crazy is somehow that goes back to that thing of like the desensitizing of normal shit, the calcifying of your experiences. Everybody's at some point had that fucking feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to feel, I fucking hate it. I dread it now. I'm like, oh, I gotta go fucking bed sheets.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I remember the first time that I had to fucking buy
I
bed
know-
sheets
no,
for
I
myself,
mean,
and I'm
yeah.
like, fuck yeah.
This is wild. I
You know,
love
you get to
myself.
experience that later on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I also
Yeah.
feel like I've talked to certain people about this. Like, I feel like because I live that life, like normal everyday shit, I don't know how to do. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
you know, like I can teach you geography. I can tell you the quickest way from Rome to Paris.
Yeah.
You know, but like, ask me like to unclog a sink. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I lived in a
yeah.
hostel. They unclogged the
Yeah.
sinks. Like,
Yeah, no
I know what you
shit.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking sick.
you know,
It's wild, dude. Wild shit.
wild. Wild. Yeah.
Well, you want to plug your YouTube channel and whatever. I don't know if you do anything. Woo!
Oh,
Jesus.
they go
One
down.
beer and it's all over.
One beer
One
and it's
beer
all over.
fucking done.
Dude.
I don't know if you have anything on like your Facebook or anything like that you want to have anybody follow, but like if you want to at least plug your YouTube.
We'll do YouTube. Like
Yeah.
I do have my blog and Facebook, but I don't
Right,
mess
right,
with
right,
it
right.
anymore really too much. My YouTube channel is Ginger on the Go. It's just me. Usually it's just travel advice and things like that, like hacks, things I've learned. I might tell some stories, like
Yeah,
do
I would
just
love
what-
for you to fucking
like
tell
do
me.
that.
Yeah.
Like that would be interesting.
Man, too bad you couldn't get somebody to animate it.
Dude, that would be awesome.
That'd be sick.
And you could just record like the audio, like we can even record you here, like just the audio with like a studio mic, and have someone
awesome.
animate the story and
Dude,
put out.
that would be awesome.
Dude, that'd be
Yeah.
fucking
You know what
sick.
that reminds me of? Which is one of my. Have you guys ever watched the Ricky Gervais show?
I don't know that I
Him,
have.
he has. He loves that
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But that's what it is. It's their podcast, and then they animate it in a Hanna-Barbera style.
Oh, that's
It's
sick.
No
so
shit.
good. Yeah, I would.
I'm
recommend.
sure there's probably. I mean, well, obviously we know they're out there, but like,
Yeah.
there's probably people out there that would jump on it just to.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Just to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
That'd be
if
fucking
anybody hits
crazy.
you up, let me know. Like
For
that
sure.
would be fun.
Yeah, if anybody that listens is into that shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
And,
sick.
Dude, I love you guys. I appreciate.
Love you, buddy.
you
Thank
having
you
me
for coming on, man.
Yeah,
This was awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have to have you on again to tell more stories. I think
if
you
you
should
want.
save one big long story each time he's on.
Yeah.
And have that story prepared. Because I
Dang.
know you got a bunch of them. You'll come in and then just drop. Because I already heard 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want you to keep those because we'll have you back on. Maybe do like once a month or something like that.
I'm down with it.
Have you back on
Damn.
and just to come on and talk shit about stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love it.
That'd
I
be
love
sick.
you, boy. I love hanging
Yeah.
out
Only,
with you.
only if you continue to do your own videos, though.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
That's it.
That's the deal.
That's the only
deal.
time.
That's
All
the
right,
deal.
That is the
You
deal.
come on once
You
a
heard it
month.
Here.
You come on once a month
Yeah.
to share like stories and just like wild shit like that, and I will shoot your videos for you.
Damn.
That way you can have it. That'll be our trade-off. That'll be our trade-off.
That's our trade-off.
Because people will love this shit.
But both of those are helping me. It sounds like.
Well, because also we can cut you a clip from this podcast
Yeah.
if you want to,
Yeah.
and you can throw it on your YouTube if you want.
I would love. I 100%.
And
man.
Yeah, we'll
fucking-
clip it for you.
You know
Yep.
what I love about that? I've done a couple podcasts
Yeah.
through my blog in the past, but it's always been over Zoom. This is the first time I've ever
In
sat
person?
down and
Yeah.
done
It's
it.
so
And
much better,
so
isn't
So
it?
cool.
I'm about it fucking being in person.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's what
so
we've
much better.
Good.
talked to people. I had an old podcast, and we drove one guy. It was like 3 hours or some shit to fucking sit down
Yeah.
and talk to him because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it over Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, like we did one over Zoom, and it went well.
It went well. It was awesome.
But if it's within driving, I'll drive fucking 8 hours.
Yeah.
I don't care to be able to do it because it brings something totally different.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
feel like there's a connection that's missed whenever it's
Yeah.
on Zoom.
Yeah. Because you can. I mean, we can connect.
That's
we can
what-
read
yeah.
each other's eyes.
Do you know what
body
else could be a
language.
cool thing to do too? Is if you know anybody interesting that you think would be that's like in reasonable distance that you think would be awesome.
Yeah.
Us 3 will go together, like or us 4 would go together, and they could be on the podcast with us 3.
Dude, there's some travelers out and about in Ohio. Dude, we used to have a joke between travel bloggers because so many of us were from Ohio. It was
Yeah.
like we're all just
No
trying to get the
shit.
fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Everybody's just trying to get out of Ohio. That's good.
That makes sense.
All right, we'll go ahead and close down shop.
Yeah.
then. That was fun. Is that
All right.
are we good on time? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fucking
so-
sick.
Appreciate you, boys.
Dude, thank you
So Ginger,
so fucking
Ginger
much.
on the go.
Ginger on the
YouTube.
go.
Yeah.
Ginger on the go.
We'll plug the shit out of that.
Yeah.
We'll put it on everything.
Yeah, send me a clip. Definitely, I will put it on there.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
fuck
Promote
yeah.
it, dude.
It's just me just knocking it over. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's just like
It's just a real quick fucking 2-second fucking loop.
13 different loops. He was gay. He was gay. He was gay.
Feed it.
Well, Steven, we love you, buddy, and
I love you
it's
too,
awesome. It's awesome that we're like personal friends with you. So like,
Yeah.
it's
Dude.
it's made it so much easier and fun and just
Dude.
goofy and
Yeah.
interesting.
I loved it. I really did because I love you guys. Like
Yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
hanging
Yeah.
out with you guys,
All
talking
the
travel.
time, man. And we're
Yeah.
always down. We're always here,
Right,
so
yeah.
we're always down.
Yeah, man.
Anything
awesome.
you ever want
yeah.
to do, even if you want to start your own podcast, let me know and I'll do it.
Dang.
I'll do it,
Dang,
bub.
dude. Victor, you boys really are the best friends. Like,
Dude,
you're
we-
the greatest friends people could ask for.
We love the dogs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's
it, really.
fun.
I mean,
It's-
that's-
and
yeah.
Plus, all of us want to do something cool and interesting.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to like connect to that and be like, dude, you know what you could do, we could do, I can help you do. You know what I mean? That kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's always a cool
Same
thing.
for any of you boys. Anytime like
Right.
you're doing something, you just even if it's just look at the camera and make sure
Right,
it's
right,
in frame.
right.
Yeah.
Let me know, man.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Like I know a little bit about audio, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Sick.
hell yeah.
Not nearly as much as you guys. But
Yeah,
I know
pretty
to
much
keep
everything.
the decimal in the green, not the
yeah.
red.
Yeah. We're closing her out, dude.
Cool.
Steven, seriously, thank you, buddy. Thank you
Thank
so
you. I love
fucking
you,
much.
boys.
Love you too, buddy. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, man. This was a awesome episode. It's
Yep.
fucking sick.
Solid.
My name is Josh Richter.
Cody Daddy.
See you later, dude.
See ya.
I'm here because we are inside a police car in Russia. We just had a car accident. And there's smoking inside.
Smoking.
Yeah. And it was quite a severe accident, actually. So,
And I was driving. And I'm very sorry.
And so I was sleeping, and this is what happened. I woke up to the sound of the brakes squealing, and all I see is a white truck and me colliding together. It's a miracle I'm not dead.
Steven almost cried.
We even actually set off the airbags. That
Yes.
was interesting.
Hence why we are in a police car right now. So we don't even know what's going to happen now. So we'll see soon. And these are our policemen.